Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Be Real, Get Real podcast. I am your host, Nancy Matthews, one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network. And this podcast is all about featuring extraordinary women who share their real stories, their journeys, and their experiences to provide inspiration to others to be able to go for your dreams and your goals in a big way. We all know that life is kind of a roller coaster, and the ability to share from your heart authentically what you've been through is one of the key factors of success. And this morning, I am really privileged to have with me a woman who has really created an extraordinary, luxurious, wealthy life. And she counts the fact of being a difference maker as her number one key to success. This morning's guest is Debbie Wysocki. Debbie Wysocki is a top-rated Keller Williams Fort Lauderdale realtor who brings more than 30 years of expertise to every client she serves. Her career began in Los Angeles as a Beverly Hills financial analyst. Then after trading Los Angeles for a slower pace in South Florida, she built a property management business and direct sales business. For 17 years, she has specialized in managing luxury real estate and also works with buyers and sellers, bringing her luxury touch service and financial expertise to ensure that every investment is maximized. She holds several certifications and specialty designations, including being a certified luxury home marketing specialist and $1 million guild member of the Institute of Luxury Home Marketing. And you can learn more about Debbie and her experience and all she brings to people to maximize every investment and, quite frankly, every experience by being a difference maker at FloridaLuxuryHomesGroup.com. I've shared with you her expertise, her background, and her career path that she's been on. And now I have the privilege of introducing you to the heart and the spirit of Debbie Wysocki. Welcome, Debbie.
Well, thank you, Nancy. I appreciate you asking me to share with your listeners.
Well, I'm grateful for you and saying yes to the opportunity, and that's you showing up and being a difference maker. So your bio shares, you started as a Beverly Hills financial analyst, and I really want to dive into the story right before that. Like, how did you end up there? Because at the age of 16, I believe you shared with me that you were pretty much on your own, carving your own way in life.
That is true. My mom and my stepdad separated, and my new stepmother did not like me very much. So I was asked to leave, and I had two great part-time jobs, and I was in school. I graduated early and was doing college and high school at the same time. And so I decided to be an executive assistant, and the community college had a great program. And I was fortunate enough, actually, I got a scholarship. I was fortunate enough to be the executive assistant right out of the community college for John Cushman, who was the grandson of Cushman and Wakefield, one of the founders.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And from there, shortly after that, I became an executive assistant to the president of Times Mirror, which is a top 50 Fortune company. And I worked with them for about 5 years. And I decided, looking around the executive suite, all of the other executive assistants were more than 20 years older than me. And I thought, you know what, there is really no place to go here. So I better get myself back to school. And I was going to be an accountant, but the accountants were making less than I was. So I thought, what else can I do?
So the accountants were making less than you were as an executive assistant, and you're like, something's not good with this picture.
Yes, well, they had them come in. Obviously, I was going at night. They had practicing accountants come in, and the starting salary was less than I was making as an executive assistant. So that was not going to work in my lifestyle.
Yes.
So I thought, okay, well, I'm very good with numbers. So what else can I do? And so financial analysis was one of the options, and I loved it. And I was fortunate enough after I completed my degree to land a job with a genius, a financial genius, who I worked with for more than a decade. And he was in the Wall Street Journal several times a week on the cover of Money magazine. And he really groomed me for having my own business.
So I want to dive back just a moment, because here you are at the age of 16 on your own, and everything that I'm hearing in what you achieved and accomplished, from getting a scholarship to, you had 2 part-time jobs, to landing a great position with your very first one. There has to have been something about you and the way you showed up that had opportunity meet you. Talk about what that character, that quality was, because not everybody would get those chances.
Well, I would say that number one, my dad had said the key to everything is education. Always act like a lady. And my mother said to always treat others with kindness. So I had a good foundation. I knew what was right and wrong. So I took the opportunity, and my teachers were great, both in high school and in college. So they taught me the right thing to do.
Beautiful.
And they put my name in for scholarships and recommended me, and I was very fortunate.
Mm-hmm. Now, as you're sharing this, and we talk about the concept of being a difference maker being really the key to success, it sounds like the roots of that are in the conversation, what you got from your mom, and I'm sure your dad as well, of treating other people right. And I see you do that in everything you do with your children and your family and the community, and rising to this level. You didn't grow up in high financial means, I would imagine, correct?
No, my mom was a welfare mom. And she had to make some very hard decisions. One of the decisions she made was whether to buy my sister medicine or put food on the table. And that was a very defining moment. I was like, I do not want to live my life like this ever.
Mm-hmm. Well, so that was a defining moment. And then how do you shift? There's a lot of talk about money mindset and abundance. How did you mold yourself to a different way of thinking about what's possible for you?
Well, I was introduced to Amway at 18 or 19.
I was 21.
Yes.
That was a critical moment of transformation for me in thinking.
Amway has the best self-development building machine I have ever seen. It works on your inside so you can be better on your outside.
Yeah. So that got introduced to you at a young age while you were in college, I imagine. And
yes.
So the spirit of who you could be is what got transformed.
Correct, because it built the dream that you could be anything you chose to be.
Beautiful.
And assist others to do the same.
So what would you say to someone who may be listening in, who feels like they just don't have the luck or the opportunities that it appears you have had? What advice would you give to someone who really would like to go to that next level and experience the lifestyles of the rich and famous and be of service in the beautiful way that you are? What advice would you give to someone on a good next step for them to shift what they're experiencing?
I would say luck has nothing to do with it. It is what you choose to do with the hand you're dealt, and to invest in yourself. And I worked probably 18 to 19 hours a day. And my business, when I stopped working for someone else, dramatically changed when I invested in even more tools and built my mindset so strong that nothing and no one could penetrate it with a negative thought or negative comment. I was like Teflon. and turned it around into opportunities.
I'm
So
sure. I got
I,
goosebumps when you shared that. To develop your mindset to be so strong like Teflon, so that whatever happens around you, what somebody says just kind of rolls right off of you. Beautiful.
correct, correct.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
So share with our audience, we're going to wrap up in a few minutes, and I appreciate you being with us today. So now you are a luxury real estate specialist. You do vacation home rentals, remodeling. You've really got this whole niche market that you've built out for yourselves. What is it about real estate and this luxury market that you so enjoy?
It's fun, number one. Real estate is, God only made so much land. And because I have been in this demographic for more than 30 years as a Beverly Hills financial analyst, and even when I was back at the Times Mirror Company, being at the executive suite level, all of our visitors were CEOs and senior vice presidents, that echelon, and we threw a lot of parties. So I got to meet movie stars even, and heads of other countries. So dealing with this demographic, gosh, since I was 25 and I'm almost 60 now, I would say that being able to assist people in reaching their goals, and sometimes they don't even know what their goals are, finding their reasons and helping them to achieve it and see them happy and where they want to be. And even sometimes surprised that I was able to assist them, and always being able to keep my word, come in on time, on budget, and in remodeling deals is fun. And build a team and help them make a difference in their life, and being able to give back to the community, because on every single commission I tithe, and of course that makes a difference to those in need in our community.
Beautiful. I see the circle of making a difference in serving your clients and serving the community by giving back on all your real estate commissions and by building a team. And I have seen you, we've known each other 13 years now, I think it is.
13
Yeah,
years, hard to believe.
I know, a long time. And one of the things that I love about you is your interest and desire to make a difference of the people you add to your team and the way you invest in them. And you model investing in yourself and show them how investing does pay off. So thank you for investing some time with us today to be on the podcast and pouring into our listeners.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was wonderful. All right, so be sure to connect with Debbie Wysocki at FloridaLuxuryHomesGroup.com, and she's on social media as well. And be sure to check back with us for the next episode of the Be Real, Get Real podcast. Until next time, get out there and make a difference, to quote our friend Debbie. Bye, everybody. Bye, Debbie.
Thanks, Nancy. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.